Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close out the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming right here in Memphis, Tennessee on ESPN 790. Greg Ratliff is the one pushing the buttons. He's got his finger on it right now. He's trying to determine if I'm going to call for something like that. He's looked like he's in motion, but this is for Saturday, which means John Gordon slips in here from Avery Outdoors, our good folks at on Cumberland Avenue, and he just talked about it. You spend $150 at Avery starting today through the end of September. You're going to get one of those Yeti.
A Rambler 30, really, which is
about a $40
value. Correct?
That's going to come your way. And then, of course, Ron Wong, we're giving him away in a couple of weeks.
All right. Sounds like a deal to me.
Yeah, bonus Wong, and I know Ron had a great time talking to that 19-year-old young man that's going to the Bassmaster Classic. And,
look forward to meeting him in person
you will.
at the Bassmaster Classic.
Well, I know this.
Good stuff.
I know this next young man. I think he's a young man, but a lot of you folks out there from our good friends at the Memphis Sports Shooting Association, a lot of other people know the name Jason Parker because if you keep up with anything in USA shooting, you know that he's been involved when he's been in China. He's been in, I don't know, all over the world shooting for the USA, and he is the new USA shooting coach based out of Colorado Springs, but he lives in Hamilton, Georgia, and we're privileged on Outdoor with Larry Ray to have Jason Parker on our show this morning. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show today, Larry.
Oh, we're glad to have you. I'm partial to Jason. That's my son's name. And you're exactly the same age, so I'm scared now. So, I mean, as my son. But tell our listeners, Jason, I know that the marksmanship career brought you great success with all of these records that you've done. 4-time Olympian, 10-time World Cup medalist, about being the coach. Now, last year you were kind of like the assistant coach. So, tell our listeners, what's the duty of the coach for USA Shooting?
Well, that's a huge question. There's lots of duties. The main one is getting our athletes focused on earning medals at international competitions and ultimately for the Olympics. So everything we do points towards, which is now Tokyo in 2020, and getting our athletes ready for that. But daily duties is on the line coaching or trying to get our athletes the resources they need to succeed or get them to the places they need to be to compete and win those medals.
And you have competition. I mean, you were at Sydney in 2000. Learned a lot, I guess. Shooting, third best qualifying score in the men's 100-meter air rifle, fifth in the finals, almost. Man, that's close. 0.7 points. Short of the bronze.
Yeah, it was one of those things. One of those things you can wish you go back and just do just a little bit better. But I've been involved in the sport for over 30 years now, and the places I've gone, and it's been real fortunate to be able to do that. And you can go back and you can say, wish you did a little bit better here or there, but overall, I do it all over again. So.
I think so, if you've done that. And 20 years in the Army. So tell our listeners a little bit about your background, how you got to where you are today.
Well, I've been around shooting ranges ever since I was real young. My dad actually shot competitive before I was born. And
okay.
I was on a shooting range when I was 3 weeks old, and
come on now.
Yeah, absolutely. He drugged me out there, and I guess it was kind of in my blood. But started shooting competitive when I was 13 years old, and just started at the state and local level, and started advanced to the national level, and eventually went to Xavier University for college, and started shooting international from there on out. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to have competed in 4 different Olympics, and looking forward to taking the team to Tokyo in 2020.
Well, I know that some of the guys that you have rubbed shoulders with, we've actually had Michael McPhail on our show. and he is a wonderful guy to work with and everything else. And you talked about Tokyo, and you talked about Xavier. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska.
From Omaha, Nebraska. Golly, we just had a guy from Lincoln on earlier in the show. Now we got two Nebraskans on here. And everything.
Exactly, great state.
But did you come out of the college and go into the service? Was that part of your plans, or?
I did. I went and came out of high school, and I knew I wanted to continue shooting, and so I went to Xavier University. I felt like that was the right place for me at the time.
Great, All-American there. Let's don't forget that. All-American at Xavier. Okay, with a rifle team. Nobody messed with you. So,
nobody messed with you. But while I was there, I was shooting a competition, and the coach of the Army team, Mr. Bill Krilling, he came up to me after one of the competitions, and he asked if I ever thought about joining the Army, and I said that I had. And from there on out, he kind of kept in touch with me, and once I graduated from college, I enlisted in the Army, and that's where I was at for the last 20 years.
Wow. Were you stationed at Fort Benning? Were you there?
Yes, I was at Fort Benning on the shooting team there. On
the shooting team there. So what was your rank when you retired?
When I retired, I was Sergeant First Class. Sergeant First Class.
20 years doing this, and a lot of great shooters have come out of Fort Benning. I did not know, and a lot of people want to know, talk about a lot of people don't understand when you get to 10 meters and things along that line. So tell our listeners a little bit about the USA shooting, and also as the rifle coach, what kind of competition is that?
Well, I fell in love with the sport because it's really mentally demanding, as well as the technical skills you need to be so precise. The 10-meter competition, you're shooting at a 10 ring that is a half a millimeter around, which is if you take a pencil and make a period on a piece of paper, that's about how big of an aiming point you're looking for. And to make it even better, 4 years ago they changed it where that 10 ring is divided into tenths of a point. So the maximum score you can have is 10.9 points, and if you just touch the 10 ring, it is 10.0. So men shoot 60 shots all from the standing position, and women shoot 40 shots from the standing position at that target. And just the technical skills you need to be the best in the world is unbelievable. The rifle and ammunition combination come into it, equipment, the mental skills just to be able to stand there for sometimes over an hour and be able to hit that 10 ring over and over and over again. Within 60 shots, the world's best shooters are hitting that 10 ring 59, sometimes 60 times in a row, and it's absolutely unbelievable the self-control that you need to have to do that.
Well, and everybody says, well, that's just 10 meters, that's from here to the wall over there. But you try doing it. This is not Quigley Down Under shooting 1,000 yards. This is. And John, you're a shooter.
I am, but it's I've never done anything with that kind of precision. I mean, you're talking about half a millimeter, Larry. That's
pencil point.
And shooting 60 times, just the muscle control you have to have as well as your breathing. And offhand is
so
great.
What goes through your mind while you're shooting? What do you got a favorite song or something? I mean, I've talked to Kim Rohde. Kim's been on this show many times. We've talked to Katuna Lorig with the archery, and they all have some kind of a mental mindset when they step up there. So what did Jason Parker have?
Oh boy, I tell you, I've been through so many of them in the past, and just to maintain focus for that long of a period of time, it often changes throughout the competition. Obviously you're trying to maintain focus on the cues that you need to have to shoot a good shot every single time. But in the meantime, you got to kind of take mental breaks or whatever. But I've been through all kinds of them. Visualizing, your legs being stumped, so you have the balance necessary to
legs being stumped.
to pull in the trigger, just enough to get the gun to go off without it moving. So your focus is constantly changing. But what it comes down to is just being mentally tough on the firing line and having the grit to get through the tough parts of the competition.
So what do you, as we point toward the end of this interview, Tokyo 2020, you'll be spending the next several years here preparing the team. Now, and a lot of folks don't realize what a great facility we have at Colorado Springs. So what does it look like for 2020, Coach? You're the man.
It's looking really good. We have a great group of veteran athletes that are returning, ones that have proven themselves already in international competitions and won medals. And the really exciting part is we have an extremely talented group of young shooters coming up as well. And so getting those diamonds in a rough, focused and ready for 2020, that's going to be the best part of this the next 3 years leading up into Tokyo, because they're truly great kids, great athletes, and just a ton of potential talent there. So getting them shaped up to become an Olympic medalist, it's just going to be great to be a part of that.
Jason, I know you're going to spend a lot of time at Colorado Springs, so we know how to get in touch with you. We'd like to talk to you a little bit later down the road and stay in touch. And we got a lot of folks in the Mid-South here who are very involved in all types of shooting activities. So thank you for taking time this morning to be on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Tell everybody hello in Colorado Springs, and we'll talk later, okay?
Will do. Thank you very much, Larry. Good
Enjoyed it. Thank you, buddy. All right, Jason Parker. Now that's, it just blows my mind, the concentration on that. If Ron has a fish out there and he's concentrating and he knows he's by that post, and you got to make that cast, if you were in a tournament, would win the tournament. I mean, there's pressure even on.
Yes, there is, and John alluded to earlier about breathing, about focusing, and all of
for an hour.
And that's what you have to do.
Well,
and Larry, you and I have been out, and I'll say, you need to throw right there in a space of about a shoebox.
And Ron can throw it.
And you got to hit it.
Yeah, and Ron can throw it. Well, guys, thank y'all for being with us, Ron Wong and John Gordon. It was an interesting show. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Great show.
And,
great show.
Next Saturday, we will be talking with the Darrell and Darrell combination. That be Dave Gabbert and Gene Smith. We got some special guests lined up for you on next Saturday's show. And gearing into September, boy, we have got some great folks coming up down the line in December, already booked for most of September. I think I said December. I might have said that. I'm waiting on.
How about September?
September. Now I'm waiting on December too.
Yep.
That's,
and you know what?
Ducks and everything.
Just a sneak preview. October's going to be good too.
It is going to be good too. We're going to have all sorts of guests. Ron's going to get them. We might even get the new commissioner from Arkansas has a little touch with Avery right there. Again, tell them again, John, what's going on at Avery?
Well, at the Superstore, like I said, now through the end of September, we're having a promotion where if you buy $150 worth of merchandise, which a few boxes of decoys, a jacket here and there. I mean, it's nothing to get to. You buy one, a new gun, and you're there.
You're there, and
you get a free Yeti Rambler 30, which is a great
That's
cup.
A great deal.
I've got
That's
one.
a
I use it all the
$40
time.
deal.
Yeah.
Correct, $40 value. So you basically get. A 10% off of your entire deal.
So going down to Avery, and then John knows that Ron knows Big Deals at Sportsman Warehouse this weekend.
Absolutely.
Also starting an hour
Tax-free.
earlier, tax free. Good night. You can save money down there,
especially on guns and ammo.
Yeah,
because there's very little markup on them, and that's why you don't see a lot of that on sale anywhere. So that's a great deal.
So you can head on down there. So. Thank you guys for being with us today. Greg Ratliff, thank you again, taking care of us. Marty coming through the door. Steve McAdams on the water. Boy, this has been fun. And this is Larry Ray reminding you to do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And God bless the USA.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry